Hello and welcome back. Today I'm just gonna take you through the workout that I'm gonna do before I have a hockey game tonight. Later on, like 7:30 or something like that. And this is a very similar routine that I would run through, um, whenever I have a game, something like that. I like to work. I'll get into explaining it here a little bit. So my pre-game routine will say starts with, and this can, I guess, this can be for hockey, can be for golf, whatever sports you want to do. This is my little routine that I like to do, or something similar. So I have a mobility routine that I do, and I've made a video about that previously, so you can scroll back, take a look at that. That one is kind of a staple. I do that one almost every day, but for sure before I have a sport, if I'm going to play something, or I don't know, I'm going to be really active that day, making sure I get that stuff in is important. So I've already done that. Now today what I'm going to work on, and the exercises will look slightly different every time because I like to switch it up. I like to get creative with my own training in the sense of how I load it, but principles remain the same at all times. Now with this, I'm just gonna do simple dumbbell and kettlebell work today. I'm not gonna go a whole bunch of reps or a whole bunch of sets. Run 2 or 3 sets of stuff. Now I like to work accessory stuff for strength or anything. Yeah, more like strength, stability for the shoulders, making sure that things are going. It's a good day to do accessory things because one, I like that I'm not burning too much energy, but I'm still getting some blood pumping, getting the core working, getting some neuromuscular stuff going on, waking up the nervous system, all that. But then what I find, especially for hockey, is if I train fairly heavy arms, shoulder, do some shoulder stuff, I got to train my forearms, got to hold stuff, stick feels lighter, or implement feels lighter, right? Golf club, whatever you're playing, tennis doesn't matter. Feels lighter in my hands. So I've got those muscles fired up, they're ready to rock and roll. And then also I really got to focus on my shoulder stability, making sure that's good. I'll put some work through my legs, making sure everything's working there. It's still gonna be full body, but where I focus most of my attention is gonna be more so accessory type stuff. So let's get into it here. I won't waste any more time jibber jabbing. We're gonna start with just some simple dumbbell arms. Now I'm gonna go fairly heavy on these. I'm gonna be alternating between hammer curls and this regular supinated curls. I'm really going to work on shoulder stability with these ones because I got heavy weights. I'm not going to try to get too high up with the hand or anything like that. I'm just going to try to be solid and strong, especially on my right side with that torn labrum. So we're going to rip off 12 reps here, 6 of each. Hammer curls and supinated curls. When I'm doing these, I'm trying to keep a good grip on the ground. Exhale as I'm moving it and control it down. Glue the elbows to the side. Scaps are nice and wide. So nice and long through the spine. And really strong through the forearms, not letting them go flex and extend, or flex or overextend too much. Ah. Oh, all right. Okay, it's a grind. Really, again, mostly for the forearms. As long as that's not breaking, I work until my biceps can't move it. But as long as I'm not breaking that shoulder stability. Now I'm gonna flip on my back. I'm gonna do some tricep extensions or some skull crushers with the dumbbells here. And with these, I want to make sure I'm not letting my shoulder blades collapse to the floor. I want to keep a little protraction, keep the armpit scooped slightly. We're just at a 12, good grip on the ground here with the feet. And kind of reach the elbows to the ceiling gently to keep that, to promote that protraction of the shoulder blade. Exhaling on the force. Whew. All right. That's pretty good. Again, mostly I do those for shoulder stability. I don't mind the beach muscle pump either. And then from here, I just kind of go one ready. I'm gonna hit another set here, and then we're gonna get into some shoulders. Ah, whew. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, so the arms are pumped up. Forearms are working. They're on. They're ready to go. Six can feel nice and light. Now, I'm going to go on to some shoulders here. I'm going to go nice and light. I got two different kind of, we'll say, sequences, or whatever you want to call them. The two little sequences I'm going to do, both for 15 reps. Nice and lightweight. I think these are 9-pounders or 6, depending on how you look at them, but they feel a little bit more than a 6. All I'm going to do is I'm going to start standing up nice and tall. I'm going to go into a lateral raise. As I'm doing that, I'm rotating to thumb up position to promote that good wrap of the shoulder blade around the rib cage, making sure we're nice and wide. We're utilizing that back. We're not keeping the shoulders in or the lats in. I want to get width to the back. Then from here, I'm going to scoop my arms around in front to a supinated position, not reaching or collapsing, not restricting the shoulder blades. Wrap it around, bring it back, and return. I'm going to do that 15 times. Up, around in front, return. All the while. Now on this one, you can add like a tandem effect to this, make it a little more balanced, stability. You can add single leg, but the whole time, I'm not letting movement through here. I'm really trying to control my shoulder blades and just keep my forearms nice and strong. And then the rotation in the socket is what I'm looking for. But the shoulder blades always need to be kind of in the back portion of where that force is working through that lever, as that's kind of like the back part of the joint. So a little single leg action here. Next, I think I got a couple more here, and they burn. And these are strict. You don't need a lot of weight. Okay. Whew. A little shakeout. As long as you're not countering back during that one, and you're feeling the shoulders are going to burn. Everything's going to burn in the forearm and the shoulder and everything. But you should be trying to control those shoulder blades, because that's where you're going to be able to take force through that lever efficiently and safely. Now, the next one, so this is the second of my shoulder routine, is going to be our lateral raise. But we're going to go to some overhead action. Now, when I'm doing this, again, I'm thinking shoulder blade control. I'm rotating thumbs up, getting that good wrap of the shoulder blade, get good protraction around. And I'm going to bring my hands more of a neutral position at the top. That's going to make sure that I have the shoulder blade fully underneath where the force is coming through the shoulder. And that way I'm not popping that rib cage up, because the more I let my shoulder blades drift to that midline when my arms are overhead, the more it's going to drive the sternum up. So this is about shoulder function. So you might have to go even lighter. I'm going to run these 9-pounders again with my right shoulder. I would not do any more than this. Again, that labrum. What a bugger. I'll show you the back first, and then we'll go to the front. So I'm going to do 15 of these. Nice and tall, nice and wide. Up, overhead, back down. Up, thumbs up, bring them together, back down. I'm really just focused on controlling that shoulder blade position, and the shoulder blades are just gliding nicely around that stable rib cage. Every time I'm moving, I try to exhale. Don't restrict movement in the shoulder blades. Promote it. Restrict movement in the rib cage. Keep it strong. Holy moly. And as long as there's no pain with this, as long as you're not shrugging up, you're not pinching, you're not doing anything, this is good. But from here, you can work to whatever range you feel comfortable with. You can even work to here and back down. I'm fine with that. But I'm just really focused on getting the shoulder blades in good position so that I can rotate effectively through that nice shallow shoulder joint with full range motion and full control. Holy. Got a good little burn here. And again, these ones, if you wanted to get crazy, you could do like some single leg or tandem stuff. But for me, I just like to make sure I have full control of my right scap so that I'm not dislocating it. A couple more. Oh, stay nice and long through the spine. Use the feet, grip the ground, get the full whole body firing. All right. Whew. Should feel your shoulders be pretty pumpy after that one. It'll feel good. All right. Now we're going to get a little bit to little bigger movements here. We're going to do some push-ups with some Renegade rows to back them. And then we're going to do some weighted crawls with the same weight. And then we're going to work some pullover leg lowers. So again, we're going to be working shoulders horizontally and vertically, loading them in different, loading one kind of pulling, the other one's going to be kind of like moving forwards and backwards. So we're going to be kind of working the shoulder again in a whole bunch of different directions, but we're also going to be involving a little more of the full body here because we're going to go more horizontal to the ground. So I'm going to collect from my legs, really push in the floor, and make sure my rib cage is not changing. So we're going to start with some push-ups, Renegade rows. We're going to do 3 sets of 10 of this little sequence here. I'll go sideways here. Sure, make this work. All right. So I'm going to think about pulling myself towards the floor, scoop my armpits, driving up. And then as I pull one arm up, I'm going to push my other arm, my feet into the floor, making sure I got at least 3 points of good solid contact at all times. Here we go. Strong forearms and wrists. Don't let them overextend. Don't let them overflex. Whew. Oh yeah. Those are good. 35 pounds. That'll do wonders for you. All right. Whew. Now we're going to do some weighted crawling. First set of crawling here. I'm just going to do leopard crawl, so it's keeping everything kind of under center. I'm be as smooth as I can. I'll do about 5 steps forward, 5 steps back here. Really controlled. All right. Now, we're going to go into some pullover leg lowers. I'll do 10 of these. Now with these ones, making sure my shoulder blades are staying off the floor. Don't want to jam in my back pockets, especially when I'm working overhead in front of the chest. I'm using the breath. Make sure my pelvic floor is involved in this one heavily as well. I'm going to go this way here, I think. Here we go. All right. Should be good. Oh boy. Long and strong. 10 reps. Make sure you're not rolling the pelvis up here. Exhale for the full length of the action if you can. Pelvic floor is working here. And again, this is just 35 pounds. But I'm looking for a good stretch. I'm not necessarily looking to create a bunch of tears in the fibers. I'm just trying to make sure that my mobility is good and clean, and I'm monitoring for anything that's feeling weird, so I can be aware of it for the game tonight. One more. I guess I should reiterate, I'm not playing at a professional level or anything like that, or even semi-professional. In fact, I pay to go play at like 10:30 at night sometimes, but this is just something that if I want to continue to do this for the rest of my life, I'm 30 now, and I feel like I'm starting to get into the best shape of my life, but if I want to continue to do fun stuff, I got to make sure that I'm preparing my body like I was a professional athlete, right? Because those guys, they do put all that effort into it, and they play for a lot longer that way, especially if their body works for a lot longer. They get paid a lot more. I like to have fun. You can't have fun when you're beat up, sore, or can't play the game you like anymore. So that's why I do this stuff. What's your reason? You don't have to tell me. You just got to know that for yourself. All right, going back to our push-up rows here. Let's get at it. I'm going to shoot for 10 again. But again, this is one where I'm not worried about hitting whatever's kind of like that number. I'm going until I start to feel that I'm fatigued enough. Again, this is like I'm working like a 7 out of 10 here. Nothing too crazy. I want to make sure I'm not gassing myself. This is a function thing, making sure everything's flowing, getting ready to rock and roll to play the game. Here we go. Now, I'm going to do some spiders. Same thing with the dumbbells in halves, but now I'm going to bring my feet wider than hip width. 5 steps forward, 5 steps back. Here we go. Nice. All right. I got some pullover leg lowers coming up. Again, it's about controlling the trunk. Make sure the scaps are tracing that rib cage so everything's gliding nicely. I'll go here. Go this way. There we go. And the extension of the leg, I'm not really worried about how far down I get it. I'm just going to make sure that I'm not changing pelvic position. I don't want any strain on these ones. This is like, if everything feels like it's engaged, but it's not straining and working super, super hard, it's working hard, but it's not like, oh, my core is working harder than my lats, right? Or we don't have that. I want full body engagement here. A lot of neurons firing. A lot of motor unit recruitment. One more. And just that nice stretch in the lats. Getting those shoulders feeling good. All right, we got one more set. One more set of those. And then we're going to finish off with one set of belt squats. And then 5 minutes on the bike. At 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off. That's just to get the heart rate up a little bit. Nothing too wild, right? I'm just going to simulate some on-off again work here. Got to dig, getting late in the game. All that jazz. Now this is exactly how I would train my athletes in season. Just I would scale it, right? And usually we would hit focal points. So it's not always going to be the same for every client. It's not going to be the same for every athlete. It's not going to be the same for everybody. Right? Any of us. I put a lot of emphasis on preparing my shoulder before I go play sports and my hips. Because I know that my shoulder doesn't respond well to stressors when it doesn't have, when I don't have full control of the scapula. It'll dislocate. So I want to make sure I've woke all that up, and I want to make sure that I have my hips moving as good as they can, my trunk working as well as I can with those, so that I can generate a lot of force and power with them to compensate for the force and power lost through this, we'll say, not structurally sound shoulder. So again, that I would cater it. Now, if someone had ankle stuff, I would focus a lot more on the ankle stuff, especially for hockey players. I want to get that dorsiflexion, so we can get that deeper knee bend. It all depends on the individual. All right, I've given myself enough rest here. Now we're going one more set here. Let's do it. All right. Now, hardest weighted crawl we're doing. Lateral crawl. This one sucks. But if you don't like doing something, you gotta keep practicing until you do like it. Or do it like you love it. And then eventually you will. I think Mike Tyson said that. Let's do 3 each way here. Oh yeah. That's some good stuff right there. Okay. Now let's go back. One more set of our pullover leg lowers here. I'll give you a different version here, a different view. Last set. And then we got our belt squats and bike. Let's do it. Double up the red band. Now I'm just going to try to keep everything nice and solid from upper body here as I run good control from the feet up to the hips. We're going to do some good squats here. Nothing's cheating here. Nothing's cheated. This might be pretty freaking heavy, actually. Oh yeah, that feels good. Let's rock and roll. Trying to use my eyes as well. Just look up to go up, look down to go down. Short foot, pelvic floor. Make sure the glutes are involved. Every time I go to exert force, exhale. A little inhale, exhale, pelvic floor. How about 5 more? Whew. All right. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up here. That felt pretty good. Got a nice little burn going. Let's get some fire in there. Now I'm going to wrap the workout up with 5 minutes on a stationary bike. But you don't have to watch that. That's just going to be a lot of sweaty, heavy breathing stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.